DIYers, what's going on? Mike Boards with the Mike Boards channel. Thank you for watching. We're working on a jet ski today. In today's video, we are working on the storage unit, and we're going to replace that little latch. Let's get started. All right, DIYers at the workstation now. Mom and Dad's jet ski in-house for the winter for DIY repair videos. And workstation behind the jet ski. We'll get to that here shortly. However, here is the storage compartment. And as you can see, unfortunately, the latch has broken. What I recommend first is taking several photos of this latch and spring and inner shaft or rod to ensure that you have photos on what it looks like prior to disassembling it. From here, we'll head to the workbench. As we make our way around the jet ski, hey, if you're into skateboards, down below in the comment section as well as the description section will be links on how to build your own skateboards and mount them on the wall. Here are our schematics. We've got several additional schematics under here for our specific serial number jet ski service manual. And we are referencing this portion right here. There is the storage compartment latch, the shaft, the spring, which is number 57, and then you've got two end lock rings that are aluminum, number 30. And here is the black latch and the part number. Down below in the comment section as well as the description section will be all of these part numbers and links on where to purchase these parts. There's the pin, and here is the old and broken and needing to be replaced little latch. And the lower end, which is the hook, is still installed inside that little insert. What we need to do is remove that first before moving on. Back to the jet ski, what I will do next is carefully lift up the storage compartment cover and prop it up with my arm. Inside here, again, is the broken hook portion of the latch. And to get this broken piece out, I will position it up as shown here. And from here, just push down and wiggle it out. And I'll lower the storage compartment door. And there it is. Again, the broken hook portion of the latch. Back to the storage compartment, and again, DIYers, make sure you take photos. As you can see, the spring on the right hand side, the spring is facing up, and on the left hand side, it's facing down. Let me raise this up. And inside here, as you can see right there, is a lock ring, and it's aluminum, and there's one on each side. As you see right there, we're going to carefully pull those off and shift that bar out. And at that point, this spring will fall. Try not to let it fall somewhere where you can't retrieve it. That would not be good. And a quick reposition of the camera. I am going to carefully pull up on the storage compartment cover. I'm going to use my finger to push this side of the pin and aluminum lock ring toward me, or left in your case, and I'm going to use needle nose pliers to carefully remove the left lock ring. And DIYers, this is plastic. Do not apply too much force to the plastic as you try to remove this little locking clip or ring. The last thing you want to do is break this portion of your cover and have to replace that. In addition, on the bottom rear portion of the cover are two additional hinges. Be mindful as you work through this project to not damage those as well. I'll take the needle nose pliers, again pushing on this side of the pin and ring, and I'll grab a hold of this side and pop it off. From here, I'm going to push, and you should be able to pull that out and angle it in a way where we can then pull off the spring. And again, try not to let that spring fall somewhere where you cannot retrieve it. And I'm just carefully pulling out the shaft. I'll set that aside. Here is the spring, here is the bar, and here's the opposite side, little lock ring, as you see right there. And DIYers, back to the workbench, and there is the old kit. And what we'll do again is unpackage the new kit and parts. At this point, I have removed the new parts and kit from the packaging, and again, the pin part number as shown there, as well as the black latch part number. And a few very important things I do want to point out. We'll start with the pin. Let's go to the old kit, and you can see the coiled portion of the spring. On the left-hand side or port side of that kit, you can see a portion extending downward and then angled or bent up. When it comes time to install the brand new spring, that will be very important. And the port side or right-hand portion of the spring, that little rod that sticks up or outward of the coiled portion has no bend to it. Again, very important. And the spring itself will actually be installed in the back and inner portion of the latch. So I wanted to point that out before we move forward. Back to the jet ski, and before we install the pin and spring, I am going to show you on the left-hand side you've got a tab, on the right-hand side you got a tab. This is the brand new latch, as you can see, and the way this will be inserted, those little tabs will go into this little slot right here. I'll show you what I'm talking about. And I did just that. As you can see, there is the latch and the two tabs resting inside the little slot as shown there. What we'll do is remove that latch, head back to the workbench, and secure the spring and pin. Back to the workbench, I'll grab the brand new latch, and the spring is going to be inserted and secured by that pin on the rear portion or back rear inner slot right there of the brand new latch. The spring itself, again, you've got the coiled section, you've got the straight little pin that sticks out, and then you've got the side that comes out and angles up with a bend. The way we are going to install this spring inside the latch is as shown here. The right side is the part that has that bend to it. And get a good look at how I am holding this. The latch itself comes down, loops up to the right. And this is easier said than done, because what you actually have to do is hold the pin in place and grab the pin, as you can see here. I'm going to push down on the spring to a point where I can align the spring with the hole, and vice versa, as you see right there. Here's how I have it configured. Again, on the left-hand side is the straight portion, and on the right-hand side is that angled, bent-up piece of the spring. If you do not install the spring properly during this step, it won't work when it's installed in the jet ski. And I want to show you this real quick, a little pick tool. You will need this as we install the latch to the cover, because we have to use this pick tool to properly set the spring to make it an actual spring-loaded latch as opposed to a flap. Back at the jet ski, and brand new latch, pin, and spring in hand. DIYers, I'm doing my absolute best to give you good camera angles as I work through this project. I'm going to carefully pull up on the cover, and the hook portion again will face to the rear of the jet ski. I'm going to come in at an angle, align the hole on the port side or left side if you're looking at it. From here, I'm going to come to the right and just carefully push that pin. And at this point, I'm going to reposition the camera because I want to show you the spring on the bottom side that we have to use that pick tool to pull down and in position. Basically tuck it in this little slot or opening to properly set the tension. At this point, camera in hand, I'm going to raise up the cover, come to the bottom side, and as you can see right in there, we actually have to pull that with the pick tool and properly seat it on the inner wall or plastic frame here of the cover itself. And another reposition of the camera, we are looking at the latch from below. I've got the cover raised up, and I'm going to hold the latch at an angle, which will allow me to get the pick tool in and grab the back portion of that bent pin of that coiled spring, and I'm going to pull it down, as you see there. And as I pull that down, I'm also applying inward pressure to the latch to allow me to properly seat it in the little insert slots that I showed you. From here, there's a lot of tension on the latch itself with that spring, so if I don't continue to push it down and hold it in place, it'll pop out. So at this point, I'm going to continue applying downward pressure, and I'm going to align the hole to allow me to push the pin through. Just like that. At this point, the pin is holding everything in place. I'll reposition the camera, and we'll install both the lock clips or washers. And I will carefully pull up on the cover, and I'm going to use my thumb on the port side to hold that pin in place. Come to the starboard side and align the lock clip and washer over the opposite end of the pin and push until I seat and lock that washer onto the pin. And I'm not going to push it on too far because I want to give the port side of the pin enough room to install the second lock clip. And I'm going to use my hand now on the starboard side, come to the port side and push that lock washer onto the pin. making progress. And you want the lock clips or washers on each side of the pin, but not pushed into a point where it makes it very difficult to move this latch. And as you can see, the spring is installed properly because we have that spring-loaded tension. In other words, when I open the latch, it opens under tension, and when I let go of the latch, it spring-loads back to the closed position. See that? Now to a close-up again, DIYers, in the event that you do not properly install that spring, it will not have that spring-loaded tension. And at that point, it will be a flap, not a spring-loaded latch. You don't want to go through this entire project only to have an end result of a non-spring tension or loaded flap. It wouldn't work as designed. Check that out. Taking a step back, and that's it, DIYers. We hope the video helped. Hey, down below in the comment section as well as the description section are going to be several helpful video links on additional project repair videos on this jet ski. Check this out. That is the little protector or pad for our little step onto the jet ski. Grab a hold of here. When you're in the water, put your foot here and pull yourself up. As you can see, unfortunately, ours is begging for replacement, dry rotted and bad shape. It'll be brand new here shortly. Also, down below in the comment section as well as the description section are video links on how to lubricate your latches to alleviate them from breaking. You don't want that. We even replaced this latch up here for the front cover. We are also going to put a link on how to replace the start-stop push button and the inner push button mechanism that feeds wiring all the way through the handlebar unit and down into the electrical system. Definitely check that out. Again, we hope this helped. Do us a favor below the video. You will see that thumbs up icon. Click on that, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Definitely ring your YouTube bell. That would be very helpful to us. We really appreciate it. Thanks again for watching. Next project is replacing our oil filter.